Have you ever wanted to experience hidden gems of Spain away from bustling cities and well-known sightseeing spots? Let me take you on a half-day trip from Alicante to Novelda. It's a journey filled with scenic views, leisurely hike, and a touch of adventure. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. You may ask, why would you choose Novelda? I have no idea. I love seeing different things. I love exploring. So Novelda and Novelda Church precisely was one of those hidden destinations that not everyone can make to. Our journey begins in Alicante, where we hopped on a tram to get to Novelda. As you may know already from my other videos, I'm a huge fan of public transportation and not using a car where I can opt out for a bus, a tram, rail, whatever. The tram is super convenient. It offers a relaxing ride towards Novelda. The ride is short, but it's packed with beautiful sights from vineyards to rolling hills. Before we knew, we arrived at our final stop, and now the adventure begins. From that train station, we started our way towards the Novelda Church, also known as the Sanctuary of Santa Maria Magdalena. We did look at the map ahead of time and knew that if using public transportation, we would be getting off in the middle of nowhere. But that did not deter us. We were dedicated to make it to the top. On the map, it looked like 45-minute adventure, which we were prepared for, don't get me wrong. There is no shade on the path, so be mindful of that. If you go to attempt the hike, cover your head, bring a lot of water. The path is not paved, but it's pretty clear where you need to go. In some cases, you may be passed by a car. It is not just a walking path. It is also a way for the cars to get there. We passed the rows of olive trees, and I couldn't not take the footage of that. It was just amazing to see and watch it grow, knowing that someday it will end up on my delicious plate. We crossed a tiny creek. I have no idea what it's called. And now we are facing the hill, and we have two options. We can continue our way on a paved road right around the hill, which would take more time probably, or we can cut through a little bit of a trail, mountain trail if you wish, to the top right away, which would be a little bit more steep, but will get us there faster. Of course, with our sense of adventure, we chose the trail. The trail was not too bad, to be honest. It's not as clearly marked, but once you are on the trail and you're able to recognize where people thought it should go, then you should be fine. But if you have the fear of the heights, or if you have any balance issues or mobility issues, then it's definitely not for you. And you should not be attempting the hike. You should not be climbing this hill. Honestly, we did not regret the views. The entire hike took about an hour, and we were not really rushing, so definitely an hour would be enough. The last 20 minutes was, like I said, the hike up the hill. As we reached the top, the stunning Novelda Church came into view. The church, designed by José Sala, is inspired by Gaudi's famous Sagrada Familia in Barcelona.
So if you want to check Gaudi's park, check my other video. I covered my experience in that park, which was also pretty amazing. Hey, check it out.
You can definitely see the influence of its unique architecture. This church was built between 1918 and 1946.
Quite a lot of time to build a church, but again, 1918, probably not as advanced as what we have today in architecture and building.
Is one of the town's most notable landmarks. And if you look at the map, the church sits pretty far away from the town. The church's design features a blend of modernist and Catalan Gothic styles, making it a unique and fascinating structure to explore. The church is closed most of the times, but somehow we got in for just a second to listen to the music. It was a perfect spot to catch our breath, before continuing our journey. After visiting the church, we decided to head down to the Novelda city center. Novelda is a small town in the province of Alicante, and it's known for its production of marble and spices. To be honest, the town center, I should say, was pretty quiet. It felt almost dead, maybe because it was the weekend and it didn't have much happening. So we just walked around a little bit and decided to go back. So here is a few pictures of what we saw, but generally speaking, it's just okay. It's a small town, like really tiny. The walk from the city center back to the train station was long and tiring. It was definitely a trek, and I would not do this again. But we did not regret visiting the church and looking at the church and taking the beautiful pictures of the scenery and architecture. Overall, the half day trip from Alicante to Novelda Church and back was a mix of relaxation, physical activity, and cultural exploration. So, if you're up for a little bit of a challenge and want to see a different side of Spain, this trip is definitely worth considering. So, as usual, thank you for joining me for this adventure. I may cover some other tiny towns that I saw in that same province. I hope you will have fun in your next adventure. See you in my next video. Keep traveling and living your life to the fullest.